compas.
Yeah, we are.
There you go.
Hey.
There you go. Okay, all right. We got proof right there.
Some guy that seems like he's asleep. Need you to wake up, Gilbert. There's a lot of energy.
Come on,
going
Gilbert.
here.
Let's go.
Come on. Dan and Dago is at Moe's.
I'll show you. I'll show you. I got it right.
Okay, that's it. You guys, I am done with mine, but that's pretty much it. Couldn't get better than a 2026 6th-round pick swap for a 7th-rounder. So
Freaking love you, Chad.
Hey, dude. Cool, man.
Compas on the beat, man. Derwin James signing off, man. Watch Compas on the beat, man.
Welcome to What's Up, Bolts. I'm Fernando Ramirez. Thank you guys for joining us. I am sorry for the delay. I was in the locker room trying to run up here and get up here to talk to you guys about everything going on. Obviously, some breaking news. Justin Herbert suffered a broken hand. Jim Harbaugh said he will have surgery tomorrow. Herbert said that he thinks he is going to go. He will play on Monday night against the Raiders unless told otherwise. So, we'll get into all that. Let me now bring in an individual that I know him. He will say, if Herbert's done, just shut it down for the rest of the season, get a higher draft pick. This individual is a huge fan of Justin Herbert. This individual got a shout out yet again from Derwin asking me, where's your brother at, man? I need to see my guy. I hope he's doing well. This individual is Dan Dago.
That's my dog. Do you hear me fine?
I hear you fine.
Okay. Yeah. As soon as Herbert went out, he looked fine. But as soon as he came back with all that crap on his hand.
So he said he had a.
Robert D, we'll get into that. I'll bring that comment up right now because trust me, I'm not overly happy. But, 100% as soon as you saw that padded up hand and he couldn't go under center and he was trying to go under center snaps and stuff, I was like, fuck, it's broken. I was like, it has to be broken. A jam and stuff like that you can kind of work around, but it didn't look good. I agree with Robert. I'm still I know they won, and don't get me wrong. I just need them to hit that 11-win game, or they need to tie a game for me to win my bet on the season. I want to beat this. I want to beat my buddy 2 years in a row on Charger bets. And if I don't, I'm going to be pissed. But, in all honesty, when you look at this game, okay, and I know everybody thinks I'm a Debbie Downer most of the time, but when you look at this game, they should have dominated from the beginning. The Raiders have had a terrible season. They've been getting blown out. They can't protect Geno Smith. I think literally last week, the Browns got 10 sacks on them. And then
10 sacks? What's 10 sacks?
10 sacks. 10 sacks. That's what I said. I think they got like 10 sacks or something crazy on them.
The Chargers had 5 today.
You get 5. And there was times where he was sitting in the pocket, hanging out. So that doesn't look good. And then offensively, again, the bad turnover that Herbert had in the red zone, that was just not good. You got to be better than that. You're getting paid $55 million. You got to notice he's sitting on it. And the other thing is, again, the offense isn't clicking to where you would want it to be. You know what I mean? I was glad. I didn't know why they stopped using Patterson at one game. I'm a Patterson guy. I've liked him when he's been in there. I think he's productive. I think Fidal's good. He's been productive. I think the funny part is, though, they change centers, the Raiders do, and then it looks like they get a little better the week after. I still don't understand what they see in Bozeman, but I mean, whatever. I guess they're going to ride it until the end, so we'll see what happens. But, it's like Robert D says, the slow starts, and you probably left 6 or 14 points on the board because I think they had 2 red zone turnovers.
They had one pick, and the other one was the turnover on downs where they tried to go from shotgun and hand it off to Kimani Vidal.
Just stupid. Just stupid. You know what I'm saying? So you leave
Herbert
14 points on the board. My bad. You'd leave 14 points on the board. And on top of that, you should have had your backups in maybe by the start of the fourth quarter with a team like this. That I think this game is kind of telling you more than anything where the Chargers are in the sense of, they can squeeze out some of these games, but they get in front of anybody who has depth and some actually good players, and it's going to be tough for them. So.
So Justin said that he is preparing this week as if he is going to play against the Eagles. He will have surgery tomorrow. Herbert said he doesn't know when it happened, but obviously it happened on that scramble run where I think he tried to fall, like he tried to hold out to fall, and I believe that's what the way it was. But yeah, it was just one of those sequences um, where it was a freak accident. We'll see what comes
Yeah.
of it. But Justin said he's taking it as he's going to continue to play. He says that another incident with Cam Hayward and the quarterback.
Oh yeah, it got pretty hideous in that game. I did see that.
But Justin said he had a cast on that hand. If you see, but the problem is going to be, Dan, to be honest, is the handing off. And Justin had a fracture in his hand a couple of years ago, and you remember he wasn't handing the ball off. He like when he did, he handed it off with his right hand, and that caused a fumble, I believe, around that time. So
I was going to say,
interesting. And then couldn't go under center. He was trying to do it with Andre James on the sideline. He couldn't do it. So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, you're getting down to the nitty gritty and to potentially not have your quarterback on Monday, but Herbert did say he, unless a doctor tells him otherwise, he is going to play. He said it's going to take a lot. Oh my God. He said it's going to take a lot for him not to play in that game. But
I think because he finished the game, that tells you everything. I think because he finished the game, he's going to play on Monday. That's just my guess.
And he has an extra day.
Yeah, exactly. That's just my guess. Because I think if it would have been really bad, he wouldn't have come back in this game. And it's funny to me, you see Trey Lance kind of, struggle out there. And I'm like, okay, where are all the people who are saying we should trade this guy or do this or that? And all of a sudden this guy's our starter. Like, so it didn't look good with him either. And, again, I'm not even worried about him.
Hold on. It's Sunday. You know how we do. We come through. I tell them people go home, man.
Exactly. The other thing that I'm not even worried about him handing off, honestly. I think the thing that worries me the most is just those Eagles pass rushers. Like, I think that's going to be a good test, and as scary as that sounds.
Can you take over for 2 seconds?
Yeah. I was going to look up the game and the stats. That's going to be the biggest thing to me because, again, you're facing a Raider team which pass rush-wise, I don't think they have much besides Crosby. And there was a couple times where Crosby was getting in on it, causing pressure. The inside guys were getting pressure. Exactly. Sonny, I think the same thing. I think because he finished the game, he's going to play on Monday. I don't doubt that. The only thing that makes me worried is that he's going to be really under duress against that Eagles pass rush. There's nothing to sneeze about. So that's going to be the biggest thing. It was all, yeah, exactly. And that tells you everything you need to know, Joseph. That tells you everything you need to know. It's just crazy. And you can't be one-dimensional like that, especially against a good team like the Eagles coming home. So, that's going to put everything in the chat, and we'll see what we got. I'll start looking through some of these. But, yeah, the slow start. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I like this. He is a dog. He just needs to protect the football and move a little bit better. But you know what I mean? Again, this is a perfect momentum builder to keep moving forward. The last thing the Chargers need is to keep taking steps back. They need to find a groove offensively because if you notice, it's always kind of similar in the sense of slow starts. They can't Sonny, you're too kind. Robert D, there it goes. I think the opposite, Robert D. She's making him play too loose. I don't need him to play as loose. That's when he turns the ball over. Yeah, this is a big thing. Let me see this. Yeah, Herbert is playing, but he's going to be running for his life on Monday night, especially because, again, they have Jalen Phillips, they have Jordan Davis, they have Jalen Carter. When you start looking at the matchups, that's where you start going like kind of, oh, shit, like this is going to be a real problem. So, the biggest thing I would hope they would do, spread them out, get the ball out fast, try and do some RPOs. I wouldn't screen them too much because these guys are pretty damn good, but I would hope exactly like this right here. Against the Eagles, here we go. Against the Eagles, I expect quick passes, screen plays. If Hampton plays, split carries with Vidal. If Hampton plays, again, I don't know how the witchcraft works between the roster and all that. Use all three backs. Use Patterson, Hampton, and Vidal. You don't have, especially Hampton, you want to limit him a little bit more because he had a fracture or whatever in his foot. So, but again, with the Raider game, I don't think anyone expected anything other than this. I think, if anything, in my point of view, I was just a little bit surprised how long it took for them to kind of get going. The chippiness was kind of interesting because it brought you back to the old Raider Charger game. So that was super interesting. I've been saying this all year. I agree with you. Herbert has got to be better with pocket presence, 100%. And that's the biggest thing, right? Like, I understand looking downfield, and I'm totally with that, quarterbacks. You have to. But at the same time, you have to feel the pocket, right? And you have to start moving. There was a couple times also, these guys just, my God. A couple times Trey Pipkins got beat around the edge, and you're just like, dude, you're getting beat like you stole something. Like, what are we doing? But again, it's going to be interesting to see because they're making their way trying to keep that wild card spot. And again, more than anything, I just want to win my bet at this point too. It's yeah. Hey, Greg's plan for Monday. Let's go heavy and just run into the teeth of that defensive front. I'm sure they're going to be excited for that. That was the biggest thing I was thinking of. I like this too. Bears ran for over 200 plus yards versus the Eagles. We had an under 80 today. We end with no Hampton. I would look at the Bears tape because the Bears tape, I don't think it's not like they have a lot of, I don't think they have a lot of talent or crazy talent or whatever on that offense. So, you have to start. And this is what I always try and do a few times I try to install new plays. I try and look at what causes the opponent's defense the most trouble. And I just take 2 plays from that and install it. That's what I would try and do. Try and get something going that that gave the Eagles defense trouble and kind of see what it is. But yeah, the Max Crosby thing, I'm with Joseph on here. He was kind of a loser. He was like, "Oh, you're in my ear." Like, dude, whatever. That's so weak to me. And I was kind of a little bit disappointed no one stepped in and decked him, honestly. He hit the whole 15-yard penalty, but that's a penalty I'll take 100%.
Yeah, some players were really surprised in the locker room. They were kind of like, what? And then Crosby said he was in my ear. Dan, obviously, one guy that's always going to defend Justin Herbert is.
Yeah, and he didn't get decked for that one. You remember that against Jacksonville? I'm surprised.
What did you think of that?
Oh, I was mad about that. I was hot about that. I was actually standing on the sideline, but I got a good relationship with Max. I know he's not that type of player. Hopefully, he ain't try to do it on purpose, but at the end of the day, that's my quarterback. We're going to make sure he's good always.
Exactly. That's my guy, Derwin. That's my guy. Another thing I did like, here's a nice little positive. I thought in this game, I don't know if you can correct me if I'm wrong. I thought they kept Derwin more in the box, which I liked. I like that way more.
They stacked the box a lot more.
Like, especially in my opinion, again,
they send blitzes.
You have more depth at the defensive back position. You have no depth at linebacker. Use your best player there. What are we even talking about?
And you're gonna have to send blitzes next week because you see the way Jalen's been playing. I mean, that's what the pressure's getting to him.
Here's the secret: keep his ass in the pocket and make him throw from it. That's how you're gonna get to him. Do not let him escape. If you can obviously get pressure and sacks, that'll be great. But if you make him sit in there and read it out, he's going to struggle, especially if you stop the run game. Like, that's going to be the biggest thing.
Dan, I did write about I mean, obviously everybody's going to write about Justin. I kind of went the Tui Pelotu route. Very strong game from him.
Yeah, he looked better.
He had what was it? He had 5 tackles.
I hope so, Joseph.
2 sacks. He had 4 tackles for loss and 2 quarterback hits. He had that huge play on what's his name? On Ashton Genty on that 4th down. They did a really good job against Ashton Genty, Dan. Only 150 yards on offense for the Raiders. Ashton Genty, 15 carries, 31 yards.
I was about to say 50 carries. What game were we watching?
No, 15 carries, 31 yards. The only problem was Brock Bowers kind of did get the better of them. 4 catches, 63 yards, 2 touchdowns. That catch at the end was pretty impressive.
Well, I couldn't believe that, here's some FBI for you, Cam Hart. They singled you up again with him in the red zone. What do you think's going to happen?
No, Saini, I think Chuli's going to have a strong game against the Eagles. That Eagles offensive line is very
they're beat up too. They just have probably better coaching and more depth. But, again, the biggest thing you're going to have to do, in my opinion, is because in my opinion, the recipe for success for the Eagles is Saquon's running, Jalen's running, and that's going to open up the pass game. If you stuff them and you force them to pass the football first and foremost, they're going to struggle. They always have struggled because Jalen, unfortunately for him and the Eagles, too inconsistent. He's either hitting or he's missing, and he's been missing because they've, I think, lost 2 games in a row, or they should have lost like 3 or 4 because the Eagles, have they lost 3 games in a row or 2?
They've lost 2.
They've lost 2 games in a row. They should have lost to the Lions if they would have kicked field goals, but they're not playing well. So now you have 2 teams playing that are not playing well in a head-to-head matchup. And the biggest difference between the 2 teams, the Eagles have a lot of depth, whereas the Chargers do not. So that's going to be the biggest question. You know, how is Greg Roman going to try and maximize his talent to try and pick apart this defense, which, again, you know, we've kind of seen his work over the season and it hasn't been anything to write home about. So,
yeah. Real quick, they were asking how much confidence you have in certain teams. This is what former Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce said.
No confidence. I'm talking about all seasons. I need decades to fix this bad boy coming up, man. Decades. Sheesh. Okay.
Talking about the Raiders?
Yeah.
It's going to take decades. He's not upset. He's not upset.
Dude, the Lane Kiffin stuff is crazy. But yeah, dude, Dan,
I speaking of him, sorry to go on this sidetrack. The way they announced him in a low rider walking into the office and screaming Raiders.
Oh yeah.
That was hilarious.
But yeah, Dan, it's just it's one of those things, and I asked one of the players in the locker room. I asked him what happened in Jacksonville. They're like, it's a one-off, dude. He's like, it's a one-off. He's like, we're fine. We're gonna get better.
I don't know about that because a one-off is, you know, I don't think it's a one-off because you've seen him play like shit against New York and drop that game. You see them basically hand off the game to the Commanders. That's 3 games that you've given up in, or like maybe not giving up. Maybe giving up is too strong, but you piss away.
I think what they're saying is that against good, I mean, no offense, but against good opponents, they're coming out and they're playing hard. So I think that's what they're.
Well, no win is guaranteed in the National Football League. That's for shit sure, clearly. So
they're 2-0 against the Navy's, Dan. They should wear them next week against the Eagles.
That should be their official home jerseys. I've never. Here's a controversial take for all of you. There you go. Shout out Robert D. Shout out Robert D. I might be applying. Oh, never mind.
I like Happy Dan. Dom
Robert D's my guy.
No, I said I like Happy Dan. Dom won last night.
Exactly. That does make me. Well, that one doesn't make me as happy because they should have done it better, but whatever. Robert D, if I go out to a Chiefs game next year, I'll let you know if I go to the Charger game.
By the way, get a kick out of this. My best video right now on TikTok, Danielle Official Topanga, 142,000
yeah,
views.
No shit. Are you kidding me? She still looks amazing.
The comments are.
You don't need to read those. You don't need to read those. You don't need. Robert T's going to get excited talking about his favorite beverage. We don't need to read that.
Guess who I see right now, Dan? Your favorite person, Haley Elwood.
Oh wow! Tell her I say hi.
My brother says hi, Haley. She says hi. But
she's awesome.
Yeah,
she's
Dan,
really
it's gonna. One of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. It's going to be interesting because most of the players, for the most part, were saying next week is going to be very interesting, or the next few weeks. Dan, it's not going to be easy. Eagles at Chiefs at Cowboys, Houston, and then at
Robert
at
D. Your season's coming up. Your season's coming up with Santa Claus.
You know what's funny? I was talking to Dante on the way up, and I was like, I could see these guys beating the Eagles, beating the Chiefs, and then dropping it to Houston and Dallas. Like, that's
something stupid like that. Yeah,
these guys would do
need
something dumb like
11 wins. I need 11
I know your
wins.
bet. I know your bet is for 11, but if you got 10-7 going into the playoffs, I think they would take that any day of the week. So
I think they'll beat the Broncos.
Hey, does a playoff win count?
Hey, if not, I'll make it count. Shit, fire. I didn't say anything.
Coach Club.
No, not Richard.
So,
Yeah, they have the Eagles.
Was he at the San Diego FC game last night?
Oh, I need to find that out actually. Yeah, they have the Eagles, the Chiefs, Cowboys, Texans. I think they could at least get 3 wins out of here. It's not like the Texans look that great, but that's the problem. Like,
what happened in that Texans Colts game?
They just look terrible. They both did.
People were saying that the Texans got bailed out by the refs.
Oh, it was a late call. Yeah. I mean, I'm half watching half the time. But yeah, and that's like the third game the Colts have dropped too. So
I thought it was good that the Chargers got a 30 burger. I thought it was good that
built some momentum.
Good. I think they're running the football very well. I just think that the biggest issue with this team is going to be, is Justin Herbert going to play next Monday? Because if he's not, that's going to be
a wrap.
That's mission impossible right there. Because I mean, he can play against Kansas City, but they need to win next Monday. I mean, I don't want to call it.
I think he said it best. We're in playoff mode. Like the AFC picture, especially again, if you're really trying to make the playoffs, it's pretty tight. You have guys who are literally just a game behind you or 2 games, which again, the rest of your schedule is not difficult or is difficult. So it's a possibility you could even lose the spots and miss the playoffs. So they need to be in playoff mode. But again, it goes back to the same thing of what are you going to do to get there? What improvements, what change in personnel, what are you going to do to get there? You know what I mean? How are you going to get the ball out quickly? How are you going to spread the football? How are you going to make sure Herbert doesn't get abused?
Yeah, I agree. But all right, got to jump on the road. Guys, I don't know if there's going to be a preview episode this week. I don't believe so. Dan will not be here the whole week. Yeah. And where he's going, it won't be easy to get Wi-Fi. So we'll see, though. We'll let you guys know this week if we're able to do a preview episode or not. But again, thank you guys so much. You guys are the best. I apologize. I would say longer, but I have to get on the road. This guy's an idiot. He just talks to everybody. But yeah, definitely appreciate. I know. Definitely appreciate everybody.
Shout out. Smash the like button.
By the way, Pop said you're a funny guy. Funny. I was like, he's a great guy.
Do I just do the Bosa?
The shrug.
I try.
But no, you are. I told him I was like definitely one of one. So
I try to be.
Appreciate
when the
everybody.
shades come on and the light hits and the red light's on.
By the way,
we're in the zone.
Yeah, exactly. Appreciate you guys. You guys are the best. Thank you guys. And make sure you guys have a good rest of your, a good start to your week. We will let you guys know if we'll do a preview episode. But oye, 5 minutos. But definitely
like, comment, subscribe, be a compa, tell a compa, and don't forget, we'll never find out why John Cena became The Rock's bitch.
John Cena.